Welcome to the Bullion, what should we say? They call them the gold bugs, people who are just very, very fascinated with gold and silver also. But we're going to also talk about platinum and palladium in today's session. And for those who are in the global bullion markets, lots of interesting, not a lot, but a few interesting moves that have happened. And well, this is being done on Saturday, March the 4th, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. India Standard Time. And well, you have the contact information on your screen. Would love to hear from you if you have any ideas, input, suggestions, or collaborations. With that, let's jump into what the charts are telling us about gold. Well, I think those who are familiar with what you see on the screen, it's already evident what's been going on. Gold has gone up, and as TA very often is very prescient, it has just taken off from the 200-day exponential moving average at $1,804 per ounce, and now at $1,855 per ounce, right? Something that we had mentioned in our previous webinar that we did, saying that there was an opportunity, very likely an opportunity to enter gold on the long side. Check out our previous webinar link in the description below if you want to check about what we said then. All right, so a very nice bullish harami candle, as it's called, on gold, up 1.11% on on a very good move, and breaking all the important long-term key moving averages. That's the 200, 100, and 50 exponential EMAs is what I have on my chart. And well, looking set to go up further. Looks like gold has been consolidating from 2020 between 1,700 to about $2,000, 1970 per ounce. So it's been very much range bound. You can clearly make out that. And it's just a question of breaking out of this range, which is quite likely, in my view, to perhaps break on the upside. Two reasons. One, very economic and fundamental reasons. Inflation globally remains pretty high. And as a protector of purchasing power, gold historically has kept its tryst with destiny, as we may say. And if inflation continues to be high, and we just did the energy webinar just a little while back, as a matter of fact, half an hour before this, and we saw that globally energy prices are swinging up again. Natural gas went up 8.5%, now almost 9% in just one day. Crude oil is going up, and coal has been going up. Indonesian, Australian, and Chinese coal across the board up substantially in the last few or many weeks rather. So with that, energy inflation very likely will seep into general inflation. And if global inflation stays stubbornly high, the central banks are, of course, doing what they can to try and tame it, but long way away from any results yet. So if that happens, then in the coming days and weeks, then gold, watch out for 1960, 1980 levels, dollars per ounce. And then if that breaks, and as we've been saying, if 2000 breaks, then very likely that we are seeing a 10 to 20, 30% move on gold in perhaps just this year, or maybe in the next 12 to 18 months, right? So that's the story of gold. What you're seeing is the weekly chart. And like I said, on the daily chart, it really took very nice support, textbook almost, and has gone up and showing right now all the signs of strength that further up moves are likely. Adding to the body of evidence is a very current and, well, live literally crossover in the MACD. That is more a good positional sign of where gold is likely to ahead. So for those willing to hold gold for the coming many days and weeks, looking good to enter gold. Silver also moving up just a little bit, not actually showing the sort of strength that gold has, but I think that this may, catch up in a little while. It's at 21.24, 21.24 right now. 22 is the level to watch out for, and once it breaks 22, 22.50, then silver could be at 23, right? And if that sounds like a small amount of move that we're talking about, a good 10% up move from current prices. So don't dismiss it. It's quite possible that you're going to see silver at those prices in the coming days and weeks, right? So silver also looking all set. We did a brief mention of this, the gold silver ratio in the previous webinar. Well, it's at 87. Not getting into it in today's webinar. We'll probably have a completely separate, very detailed session on the gold silver ratio and how that can be used by what we'll say multi-month positional investors, on how the gold silver ratio can be used to accumulate larger and larger quantities of gold over a multi-year time frame. So that's something that we'll have in the due course of time. If you want to get updates about our activities, well, you know how to get in touch with us. I'll put up the contact information on the screen again at the end of the webinar, right? So gold is looking good, silver is looking good, and now coming to palladium. Probably many folks are wondering, like, okay, now how the hell do we get into palladium? Well, that's a good question, obviously. And depending on which part of the world you are in, there are various ways to trade palladium. You could have, if you are able to actually buy it in physical quantity, well, that's amazing. Would love to hear from you if you are able to do that. Uh, but there are various financial products and tools available to get into, to allow investors to get into palladium and platinum, right? So you have clearly a bullish divergence on the daily chart, sorry, in the palladium, and you also have palladium at its oversold levels both on the monthly and the weekly chart. So palladium really looking good from a positional multi-month perspective. Those who are able to get in should definitely be looking at either getting into spot palladium or into a palladium fund, or if you are comfortable trading palladium futures, then definitely look at palladium futures. A stop loss below 1351, these are all dollars, dollar prices, as on NYMEX, is where you would look at. As a matter of fact, I think I would actually be a contrarian. If it actually goes down more, then that's not an exit for the long. That's actually to get into more palladium if you can. And once above 1450, then 1500, I think, is a very natural level that it will seek. And once it breaks this resistance level at 1553, then I think slowly it's going to keep inching higher and higher in the coming weeks. Probably the same thing for platinum, though platinum has actually, as you can see, moved quite strongly from 913 to 975. That's quite a substantial move. So you're talking about a 7.9% move in 1 week. But on a very long-term basis, platinum is actually not doing much. It's just been range bound, top left at around 1,000. So you can probably see it going to 1,000, and right from 2016, platinum has really, really not done anything, right? So it'll be interesting to see what platinum is able to do. Is it able to break out of its range bound levels, or will platinum just, stay stuck between 825 and let's see, yep, 1,086 levels. That's basically where it is looking at. But if you look at it from a sort of very if I may say so, very big picture Elliott wave perspective, then just from on some degree here, this is a corrective move that's happened, and could be a wave three that's happening that could take platinum to 1900 or even $2,000 from the current 979. That's almost a doubling in price for platinum, right? So it'll be interesting to see whether platinum can get out of its about 7-year range, and palladium, on the other hand, not really. It's been on a downtrend clearly, right? But it looks it's perhaps the it's just tentatively that we can say that the downtrend is over, though there needs to be more evidence that needs to come, right? All right. So with that, we shall close the session. So very interesting that all the four um, bullions, precious metals, gold, silver, palladium, and platinum are all flashing signs of bullish nature on the charts. Well, what does that mean for the world and the markets is what my mind is now buzzing with. Well, let me dig into it. And if I find anything, I'm definitely going to share that with you. And if you would like to get updates on that, well, you know how to get in touch. Do send us inputs, email, or WhatsApp on the numbers and the email that you see on your screen. And wishing you a very profitable golden week and months ahead. Thank you and goodbye.